Am I the a-hole for calling the police on my daughter to teach her a lesson about stealing? My daughter is in the 6th grade. Every morning, I have her take a couple of dollars out of my wallet for lunch money. In the last few weeks, several times I have noticed that I'm missing a little bit more money than usual. So, this week, I planted a $20 bill before my daughter took her lunch money out. Sure enough, she took it. I called the police and asked them to come with me to the school so that we could teach my daughter a lesson. 2 officers met me there and we pulled my daughter out of class, after which she informed one of the officers that there has been a bully who is stealing her lunch money / forcing my daughter to buy her lunch. She also has been buying lunch for one of her friends who cannot afford it. This was confirmed by both the bully and the friend. My daughter was silent on the way home, and I informed her that I was just trying to teach her a lesson, that stealing is wrong and can get you in a lot of trouble, and that in the future she needs to speak to myself or her mother if there are issues at school, and we would be happy to help her resolve them. When we got home, my wife absolutely lost her shiz on me, in full tears, telling me that this is a one-way ticket to estrangement from our daughter in the future, and that we should have just asked her why she was stealing money. She would have just lied about stealing in the first place, so I really don't understand what her idea of a solution is. My daughter apparently told my wife that she is terrified that her bully will now retaliate, and also that she may have lost her friend for bringing so much attention to her financial issue. She apologized for stealing and said she just didn't want us to intervene. I'm wondering if I really did the wrong thing here. Am I the a-hole? You're the a-hole. Epically. First, you didn't even bother to attempt a conversation with her first. You didn't even entertain the possibility that there was a reason for her stealing money. WTF, did you think she was hoarding cash for heroin? So now she has to deal not only with the bully, but with the result of you humiliating her in public in front of her entire school. The thing you should really be concerned with right now is 1. How do you earn her trust back? And let me tell you, I don't think your relationship with her will ever be the same after this. 2. Seriously ask yourself why she resorted to stealing cash from you instead of coming to you for help with this. I was bullied as a kid, relentlessly, and I felt isolated and ashamed. My parents kept me fed and clothed, but gave not one iota of a shiz for my emotional well-being, and I was abused and neglected at home on top of being bullied at school. That is why I did not even attempt to tell my parents or ask them for help. What is going on in your home that made your daughter feel like she couldn't come to you for help? If this is your approach to parenting, immediately jump to the worst conclusion and move forward with the most humiliating and damaging punishment you can think of. 2. Teach her a lesson before you even try to establish a dialogue with her or try to understand the reasons behind her behavior. You have so much work to do. She will never, ever forget this. You're the a-hole. You didn't even give your daughter a chance to lie, but you did humiliate her at school in front of her peers. And she's right. There is a good chance her bully will retaliate. If this is all she's done wrong, this was a huge overreaction in my opinion. No, stealing is not okay, but you didn't even try to have a conversation about it before bringing police to her school. And now, anytime something goes missing in her class, she will probably be the first one to get blamed by her peers. And means if she's ever actually in trouble, she sure as hell isn't going to call dad. I can't imagine ever living down that humiliation. The kids are going to mock her and call her a thief. When I was in 6th grade, age 11 going on 12, this popular girl had this rubbery, long stretchy worm thing. It was hot pink, and you could fling it at walls, and it would stick. Some sort of gimmicky toy. I, being a shy kid who just wanted to connect with people, innocently told her, "Hey, my little sister has the same toy at home." And she and her friends giggled and were like, "Prove it." So I brought it to school the next day to show them. And I guess her worm got lost. Or she pretended to lose it, and I remember all of the girls kind of cornering me and asking me seriously, you need to tell us the truth. Did you take Tara's worm? I still remember how sick and embarrassed I felt as I said no and insisted that the worm in my hand was my sister's. They gave me these scornful looks which clearly said they thought I was lying and a thief. And after that, some kids continuously bothered me for a while, calling me a thief. It was a horrible experience for me, and I still remember how shriveled up, small, and awful I felt. So I can only imagine Op's daughter's humiliation and torment will be 10 times worse, given the freaking police showed up. Junior high kids go ape with this kind of juicy tidbit. They'll be calling her a thief, spreading rumors she's a druggie, and all sorts of stuff which is nonsense, but so readily accepted by gleeful 12-year-olds looking for drama. You're the a-hole. As a parent myself, I say do your effing job and parent your child. Don't ask the cops to do it for you. What the actual F were you thinking? Or maybe you weren't thinking? And what makes you think it's okay to carry out such an asinine punishment without consulting your wife? Yes, if it's not perfectly crystal clear at this point, you are 100% in the wrong. Your daughter deserves an apology, her friend deserves an apology, your wife deserves an apology for you going rogue, and your community deserves an apology for you wasting their tax dollars. OP seems like the kind of parent who would videotape the weird punishment and put it on the internet so everyone can see how great of a parent he is. I feel sorry for OP's daughter. You're the a-hole. Not only did you ruin your daughter's trust towards authorities, you ruined her trust towards you. A good, loving parent would give their child a benefit of a doubt and talk to the child first, not set up a trap and go over the top to humiliate them in front of their schoolmates. Jesus, what's wrong with you? But actually though, you can feel his palpable excitement about making this issue all about himself, and he's positively giddy with the prospect of getting to be this badass moral dad. No matter what happens, or how hard he has to bully his daughter, the key thing here is, this is his moment to shine as a parent, and that's priority #1. Oh yeah, I totally get the giddy vibe from the post. Disclaimer, if this really happened. You're the a-hole for 1. Wasting police time. They are not your childcare helpers. They are not there to scare your daughter over and on crime. 2. Having everything come out in the school rather than giving your child the environment to explain the legitimate reasons why she was taking money. 3. You have made a scene that your daughter's class will remember for a long time. 4. You have disrupted your child and other children's school day and put the teachers/school in an uncomfortable position. 5. You have put an extra target on your daughter's back from a child who is the one that is actually stealing from you and bullying your child. 6. You have created the situation where your daughter's friend was exposed as needing handouts for lunch. This is very damaging and embarrassing for a lot of children, and food poverty is a very serious issue in your country right now. Your daughter was helping another child get enough to eat, and you think this is a negative thing. 7. You have outed your daughter as a thief instead of talking to her and bothering to parent yourself. 8. You don't trust your own daughter to tell the truth, you assume she will lie every time. 9. You clearly didn't include your wife in this discussion. Good luck on trying to have any relationship with your daughter now that you've taught her that doing something wrong out of a fear and a desire to help others will lead to her dad being a greater C-bomb in front of her whole class and law enforcement. Learn from this. Apologize to your wife. Apologize to your daughter, and then you may discuss the morality involved with stealing, even if it's stealing to protect herself and to help someone else. Teach her the value of $1 through actual parenting, and not just by using the police as your punishers. I agree with everything you wrote, but number 4 stuck out to me. I'm a high school teacher, and any additional law enforcement on campus, other than our resource officer, would probably be noticed by students and parents. In today's climate it would raise undue alarm, and there would be social media posts and everything with wild speculations. The office would be answering tons of phone calls about it. Handling home problems at school is never a good idea unless I or any other mandated reported feels that the home is unsafe. Then we will get the proper people to help deal with home problems in a safe environment. This guy is terrible, and as a teacher, I would keep my eye out for this little girl. He would raise my alarm, and I would notify the school social worker. She would then be checking in on the little girl. No CPS unless she deemed it necessary. There would just be 2 adults watching out for this girl at school, because no one is watching out for her at home it seems. My father often based his assumptions on his own behavior. I lost a book I adored when I was 16 and searched the whole house looking for it. He thought I was spying for my mom. This was right after their divorce, though I was a good kid and had never done anything like that. He jumped immediately to sort of thing he would do. He's a sneaky guy who lies a lot. I think people who jump to the worst assumption are often shady people themselves. When I was roughly this age, maybe a bit younger, I stole some money from my parents in a scenario very much like this. I was allowed to retrieve my allowance money from the coin jar that my parents used to dump their loose change in, and I started taking extra quarters each time until I was caught. I didn't even have the kind of legit-ish excuse that this kid ended up having. I just thought my allowance was too small. My parents caught me, and it took literally one conversation of "we're so disappointed in you. What happened?" and me squirming in my seat, humiliated and apologizing and crying for me to decide never again. I was not a bad kid. I didn't grow up to do worse things. I never stole money or anything else ever again. I have grown up to be an adult who is both successful and also cares about the impact that her actions have on other humans. But I can only imagine how different that might have been if my parents had such little respect for me as a kid that they called the police on me. How much fundamental trust would have been lost. How much harder it would have been for me to learn the right lessons in the future. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. See you all later.